Alright, in this lesson we're going to learn how to solve two-step equations. In the previous lesson we talked about how to solve equations um, with rational numbers, but those were all just a one-step equation where we either added the same number or subtracted the same number from both sides of the equation or divided or multiplied or whatever. So what we're talking about in this lesson is we're going to solve equations that we're going to both do the addition or subtraction and multiplication and division or something, some combination of those two. So once again, just a quick review. To solve equations, you isolate the variable by undoing each of the operations in the equation. Opposite of addition is subtraction. We call those inverse operations. And the opposite of subtraction is addition. Okay. Same thing with multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. So the way that you do that, you usually undo the addition and subtraction first. This is important. Okay. You usually undo the addition or subtraction first, and then you do the multiplication and division. All right. If you have a a normal equation with no parentheses or anything like that, um, the basically what we're doing is we're undoing the order of operations, which means that we're doing the order of operations backwards. Remember, order of operations says, um, please excuse my ignorance, only the parentheses and then the exponents and uh, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. But this is sort of undoing that. So along with that, so the exception to what I was just saying up here is that if you have to simplify the equation first by collecting the like terms, okay, that's what we did a couple lessons ago, or if you're dividing the entire side of an equation by a number. So in other words, if I have something like x plus 5 divided by um, 7, okay, you would this is what I'm talking about here. In this case, to undo this, you would multiply both sides by 7. Okay. Another exception is when you're applying the distributive property. So that would be an example of that would be like if you're saying 2 times x minus 4. Okay, you would need to multiply or multiply by using the distributive property first. Um, so this is a 4. So 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so those are two or three cases where you would um, either collect all your like terms or you do the multiplication first. Okay, so let's do a few examples here. All right. Well, first before we do the examples, go ahead and copy these notes into your notebook. Okay. All right, so the first example, remember step one is to draw a vertical line, okay? And then in this case, we don't have any like terms. We don't have it's not divide. We don't have we're not dividing anything. We don't have the distributive property. So the second thing is we're going to subtract 25 from both sides, minus 25 and minus 25, okay? So that cancels out. So over here, we're left with 7y is equal to, now, these are both negative, okay? These are both negative, so that means that you combine them, and we end up with negative 49, all right? So this is step 2, okay? Step 3 is to undo the multiplication and division by dividing by 7. So this cancels out. Y is equal to negative 7. All right? That's the basic two-step equation that we're going to solve, and you'll have several of those. Next one, okay, is the same thing. Okay, we have rational numbers. We have decimals. Step one is split the thing. Okay, draw a vertical line. We're going to subtract 13.4, subtract 13.4. It cancels out. So on the right hand side we have negative 3.5x. Okay, once again we have both the signs are negative. They're both the same. So we're just going to combine them. So that'd be 7, 11, carry the 1, 21.7. Okay. And if you're not comfortable with doing it in your head, use a calculator. Um, so you would do 8.3. Make sure it's a negative, and then go minus 13.4. You end up with negative 21.7. Okay. So now we're going to divide both sides by negative 3.5. Don't forget to include this negative sign, okay? Because the 3.5 is negative. So we're going to take this, we're going to divide negative 21.7 by negative 3.5, and we end up with an answer of 6.2 is our value for x. All right, take a look. Okay, so once again, this is step 2 up here. Okay, this is when we're dividing is step 3. Okay, all right. All right, so the next one. All right, so we have step 1 is split the thing. Okay, now here's the thing. We're dividing here, but we're not dividing the entire side. We're only dividing the x by negative 9. Okay, so we're still going to, step 2 is we're going to add 3, okay, to both sides of the equation. So that cancels that out. So now we have x, x over negative 9 is equal to 13. Okay. Step 3. Okay. Step 2 was at adding. Step 3. Okay, so we're dividing here, so that means we multiply both sides by negative 9. Okay. Cancels out. X is equal to, now we use our calculator, go 13 times negative 9. We end up with negative 117. All right. The last example. All right. Step 1, draw the line. Okay. Now you'll notice on this one, the entire left side, the expression on the left side is, the entire thing is divided by 11. Okay. So our step 1, or step 2 is actually going to be to cancel out the 11. So we're going to do that because we're dividing. The inverse of addition is multiplication, so we're going to multiply by 11. So that cancels out, and we have y plus 5 is equal to 33. So in this case, the multiplication comes first instead of the addition, like we normally have been doing. Okay, and then step 3, we're going to subtract 5. We're going to subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. And we end up with y is equal to 28. Okay? So that does it for this lesson. It's the same thing, same steps and everything as what we have been doing when we're solving the one-step equations. It's just that we have an additional step because of the fact that we have additional operations. So make sure you have all the notes copied down, and make sure you ask me any questions if you run into questions. All right, take care. We'll talk to y'all later.